Hi, welcome to another episode of Amy Learns to Cook. I'm Eric, Amy's husband, and today we're going to smoke some chicken. We've already got the smoker fired up, and all I've got to do is prep the chicken, and about an hour from now, we're going to have the best tasting pulled chicken you've ever had. So today, the 3 chickens that we're going to smoke are 2 from just a regular big box store, just average generic chickens, that we have in fact brined, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then this one here is an organic chicken that lived quite the life at a country club. So it's a happy chicken. So we're going to see which chicken tastes better. Now with the brine chicken, we sometimes brine because lean parts can get dry. Now I'm going to be smoking these things in a humid environment and not that long, so we're not really going to run the risk, but we like our chicken juicy, so that's why we did that. First step we're going to do here is we've already have patted these things dry. I have to rinse them off. Now we're going to put some rub in these, and then we'll take them outside to the smoker. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to reach inside the cavity, and we're just going to put a few pinches of some barbecue rub. And you can use any rub you get at the store, or you can make your own. It's however you feel like it. And we're going to reach down underneath the skin where the breasts are and just put a few pinches down there. So that's one breast, and then we're going to do this other breast. Just massage that down in there, and that's pretty much done. And we'll do that to this other chicken. Now this isn't like a turkey, so we're not going to shove any things in the cavity. I mean, I suppose for flavoring, if you want to put an orange or some other citrus in there, you can. But for this cook, we're just going to keep it simple with rub. So we did the cavity, and now we're going to go ahead and do the breasts here. Okay, and we're done rubbing these. Here. This is a Backwoods Smoker. It's a water cooker, and I'm going to go and just show you briefly what it looks like. We have the hot coals are down below, and then we got about 5 gallons of hot water here, which will help keep our meat tender, but more importantly, it acts as indirect heat. Now if you were to cook this on a gas grill or even on an oven, the main thing is you don't want the chicken to be too close to your heat source, or else it can help dry it out faster. In this case, we're going to go ahead and put this on the middle rack, and a question or thought might be is, what are we going to do with the skin? You could use olive oil or any other oil on it. If you plan on eating the skin, it'll help make it nice and roasted brown color. But since we're going to make pulled chicken out of this, we're just going to go ahead and rip the meat off. The skin doesn't matter. So that's the only reason why I didn't bother putting any rub on it, because the rub probably won't penetrate the skin anyways. So that's that. We are going to take it out of the pans, and this is the organic chicken. We're going to go ahead and put him in first, kind of in the back. And it's a little smoky in there. The other chicken, we're going to go ahead and put this to the side. I'm going to put one in the front. And I want to make sure you can see that good. So now we've got the chicken in there. There's plenty of room for air and smoke to circulate. I'm going to close the door now. So the temperature should recover shortly within the next few minutes, and when it does, that's when we'll start paying attention to the time. It should take approximately an hour at about 300 degrees to cook this chicken. Over an hour and a half at around 300 degrees. I just opened it up just to check it a few minutes ago. That's the only reason why it's dropped down a little bit. So I'm going to check it again, and if it's up to temp, we'll go ahead and we'll pull these things out. What I'm looking for is at a minimum 160 degrees. 165 is also good. We have to let the chicken rest before we pull it, so it'll probably come up another couple degrees just doing that. So the first thing we're going to do is open the door, and you can see all the smoke and steam coming out, and look how golden these are. I mean, these look beautiful. I can look in here and it's just dripping with juice. So let's go ahead, and I've got a Thermopin instant reader, so I can just stick it in there in 2 seconds. I know pretty much what it is. And this one's up to 162 there. I'm going to read over here. This one's 164, and this is up to 175 over there. So I think the temperature will even out. So we'll pull that one out. Put in this half pan over here. And we'll do the same thing on this bird over here. Jeez, look at all that juice in there. So look at all that liquid coming out. So that's 172 there. I'm losing all 179, 180. So different readings. I think it's definitely done. So let's go ahead and get that in here. I'm going to cover it up with foil before it gets a chance to cool off too much out here. This. This pan come off. Let's check the sec. Now, if you remember earlier, this was the organic one, the happy bird. Let's see how he's doing. And he's around 163, 164. Starting to ooze a bunch of juices. He's 185, 187, so he's definitely done over there. And he's about 180 over here. So he's a little overdone, but let's see how he does. Close that. And And we're going to take these chickens inside. We're going to let them rest for about 5-10 minutes, and then we're going to pull them. The chicken off of the smoker after being on it for maybe 90 minutes or so at about 300 degrees. And you can tell by the wiggle of the legs, it's definitely ready. We also probed it to make sure it was at least 160, 165 degrees, so we're good with all that. So right now we're going to get ready to pull this chicken. I'm going to go ahead and just do some minor carving. Well, if it lets me carve it, the leg's just going to come off. So that's easy. But there should be an area in the joint between the leg. In fact, it's just going to come off. Don't need a knife. Same thing over here. When your chicken is done, the juices are going to run clear. You might see a little bit of redness near the joints. It doesn't necessarily mean it's undercooked. It's just sometimes when you smoke, especially with cherry, you'll get some extra red. So we definitely got pink, but this chicken is done. So I'm just going to set the legs off to the side here so we don't get distracted by them. Since we're going to pull this chicken, I'm just going to rip the skin off. I don't really need that. And this was one of the big box store chickens. The organic one is still sitting over there. They all seem to juice about the same amount. So I don't think it's going to be necessarily one is better than the other. It's just your preference as to what you feel like eating. So get the bulk of the skin off. Now the breast. So I'm going to go ahead and cut, I don't know, way low here. And then we're going to go ahead and do a vertical cut here, avoid that bone right there. And then this breast should just come off in its entirety like that. And we'll go ahead and yank that apart. We can do the same thing down here on the other side. Cut fairly low. Go ahead and cut the bone here. And breast is going to come off. So normally I'll have either a fork to assist me, or if we're doing bigger pieces of chicken, I might have something called bear claws, which literally are big pieces of plastic with a handle. It's got these big things. But that's good for pulling pork. Like if you're ever taking like a Boston butt and you want to have pulled pork, you get some of those things and you can rip it apart in like 2 seconds flat. Here I'm just being nice to this bird. This thing's going to fall apart on me. When smoking, especially poultry, it's not very forgiving, so you want to smoke it on the light side. So don't hit it with mesquite or anything unless you're really watching how much you're hitting it with. I prefer fruits and nuts. Woods like pecan is one of my favorites. Apple is another one that's mild. But when you start hitting, oak is also another one that's really nice. But when you start hitting it with hickory or mesquite, you can make it taste like rubber. And basically just Google the word rubber tires barbecue. You'll get 99 billion hits on you oversmoked it. So be careful. This, we pretty much used a couple of wood chunks, which is all that's really necessary. That plus the charcoal gave off its own little unique flavor. So a couple of taste tests came out being pretty positive. I'll give one right here. Oh yeah, baby. But seriously, this is some good stuff. If you want to see what our recipes are for, go out to www.amylearnstocook.com, and we'll also put the recipe probably on the description of the video on YouTube as well.